What is one real trick that companies don't want you to know? I used to work at a PC repair shop and had to call HP warranty support in India almost every day. Talking with someone using a script plus language barrier equals aggravating and time consuming. I learned that if you select the option for Spanish you get transferred to a call center in Texas. From there you can just speak English. You know the Mr. Clean magic erasers that are so awesome? They are just melamine foam, which you can buy unbranded in bundle packs of 30 to 100 on eBay and Amazon for less than 25 cents each. When signing up for stuff where you don't need to verify your ID, specifically magazines, use a different name from your own to find out which companies are selling your information. I'm not sure who Dr. Aquarius McFlopperson 3 is, but I am not him. I used to work for a gas station on the side. When our tanks were filled the truck would go down the street resupplying all of the stations. People bitch about gas being bad from one brand but it all came from the same refinery. I used to work at a call center that handled people cancelling services. We were paid based on how many people we saved from cancelling compared with the total number of potential saves. However, certain times customers didn't count as potential saves. These people we just needed to get off the phone ASAP. If you want to cancel a service you want to not be a potential save. To do this I suggest stating that you are moving to another country. Cancelling cable? Say you're moving to the United Arab Emirates, it'll take 2 minutes. Just because a store is branded as a certain company doesn't mean it's owned and operated by that company. For example, if you don't like Shell gas and decide to go to the Exxon down the street, Shell may still own and operate that store but fly Exxon's flag. They just pay Exxon a small fee to keep their branding up. My stepbrother used to work for a company that owned gas stations. He had a hell of a time when the BP oil spill happened. The store owners at BP stations were losing business when they really had very little to do with the actual BP company. Some didn't even get any gas derived from BP oil. You know how it's almost impossible to get scammers to stop calling? Well, almost. I'm 100% convinced there are black market phone lists floating around, because I'm almost positive I got myself removed from at least one of them, because practically overnight I stopped getting scam calls from a wide variety of different scams, and with one simple trick. Hold on a second, I have to turn on the recording for the FCC. Obviously this only works in the US, but you could substitute your local regulatory agency and it would probably work just as well. The dude hung up so fast it wasn't even funny, and I never got any more calls from that scam and I stopped getting calls from different scams pretty quickly after I created this trick. I've never paid full price for SiriusXM radio. I received a free year with the purchase of my car. After that year was up they called me up to renew at something like $20 per month. Why would I pay you $20 per month to listen to whatever you send me, when I could pay $10 per month to Spotify and listen to whatever I want? Sir, we can offer you 6 months of SiriusXM for $20. Would you be interested in that? Yep, I don't want to be auto-billed, invoice me. I've performed this dance every 6 months for the past 3 years. I had a locksmith tell me that I could not program my own fit-chipped key using 2 original keys and my Jeep's computer, and that I either had to have him do it or pay even more at a dealership to have them do it. And buy a chipped key from him for $30. I knew better. I bought an $8 chipped key off eBay, programmed it myself using instructions online. The seller also sent me programming instructions, and had it physically copied at that same locksmith for $2. Also, there were instructions in the Jeep's owner's manual. Note, the way the computer programs the key is that you basically insert the first original key, turn the ignition on, then the second original key, and then the new key that then gets programmed. I also had an on-chipped key that I had made earlier, just to open the Jeep's doors, and tape that key to the chipped blank key to fool the Jeep's computer into thinking that the chipped key was being inserted. Locksmith would have charged me upwards of $80 when I did it myself for about $12. Locksmiths hate me. There are tons of free services that give you the ability to create a throwable email, disposable email, so you can sign, confirm the email, without having to use your own email. Edit, one that I'm using regularly is disposable.com, from the old team that was managing Mininova. There are lots of companies that if you order from them online and stop at the last step and leave, within a couple of days you'll get an email offering you a substantial discount on what you were about to buy at full price. One thing that I find funny is a water bottling plant in Scotland. One factory and 5 different kinds come out. Marks & Spencer water is one of them. The water is exactly the same, but the price difference between the 5 brands is a lot. In Canada, if you don't want to put up with UPS's bullshit, add a box to your address, as follows. 123 Any Street Apt 6 should be replaced with 123 Any Street Box 6. This will cause the system to select Canada Post for shipping. I actually like UPS better in my area because if I'm not home the package actually gets delivered to the UPS store that day and I can pick it up, but for whatever reason the mail carrier on my route for Canada Post never delivers the packages to the pickup location until the next morning. So I can't pick anything up from Canada Post until the day after it arrives. You can always sign up for an account on UPS. And add your address and set your preferences to leave the package at the door even if you are not home. I have no way to verify this. I have a friend that worked for a razor manufacturer. I won't say which one because I only have his word for this. He told me that the honers, that sharpen blades, had several settings, let's call them dull, normal, and extra sharp. The sharper the setting, the slower the assembly line, and they wanted the assembly line to run as fast as possible. Normal was the setting used for everyday manufacturing. When they wanted to make more money, they came out with a new, improved version of the razor, at higher cost, of course, even though the manufacturing cost for the new razor was no more than for the old one. They might not change anything but the handle design to make the razor fit your hand differently. To establish demand for the new razor, several months before introducing the new razors they turned the honers on the current line down to dull. When they started to manufacture the new, improved razors they turned the honers on those razors up to extra sharp. Joe Consumer bought a package of the new, improved razors and tried them and declared, "Wow, these are really good." Demand for the new razors went up and they earned a spot on the retail shelves. Eventually, manufacturing for the old razors ceased, and the honers for the new razors were turned down to normal to speed up the production lines, and the changeover from the old product to the new one was complete. Net result was that Joe Consumer was paying more for essentially the same product, and Mr. Stockholder had a bigger dividend and Mr. CEO had a bigger bonus. Used to work at CVS for a little bit, I did not give a fuck if you came bitching at me about coupons / mispriced items / etc. I will mark it down. How did I come to do this? When I started I used to call the manager every time a customer had a complaint and she just told me to give them the deals whenever it would happen and not to call her. I'm pretty sure it's like this for most places. But be nice at first, we assume you're gonna get bitchy and just end up giving you the deals. If you make a good faith effort to pay medical bills they can't be sent to collections. Offer to pay $20 a month till it's paid and the hospital or doc will often be willing to settle for half payment and closing the bill. Just get it in writing. I once owed the hospital $2,000 for an emergency visit. At the time I was 100% broke, and after paying about $500 of it off, I knew I couldn't afford any more if I didn't want to starve. I wrote a letter to the hospital explaining my predicament and illustrating the reasons why I couldn't ask my family for the money. They forgave the rest of it entirely. If you want to cancel a hotel reservation, but you're within the penalty period, call up / go online and move the reservation forward by a couple of weeks, a month. Whatever. Just enough to get you out of the cancellation penalty period. Then call up / go online the next day and cancel the reservation. This doesn't always work. My hotel will note that you modified your reservation and on what day you did it to prevent exactly this. If you stay at a hospital, ask for an itemized bill, especially if staying at a state or locally funded one. Reason for this: hospitals like to sneak in hidden charges for services you didn't receive, like pelvic exams when you went in for a broken arm. This can save you hundreds of dollars on your bill. Several airlines have a policy where you can cancel your flight ticket with a full refund within 24 hours of booking it. Most airlines' cancellation policies do not state this fact explicitly on the websites, e.g., I've done a complete scan Lufthansa's and United's cancellation policies on their website but couldn't find this anywhere. Their customer care confirmed it on phone. This is particularly useful when you have to show make confirmed flight reservations to be submitted along with your visa applications. Schengen, US, UK, etc. need this. I've used this method several times for my visa applications to UK and Schengen successfully. You don't actually have to give any of your real information online like ever. But everybody just naively volunteers it anyway. Yeah. According to the internet, I am Ethan Barry, a 40-year-old married stockbroker with 2 kids and a nice house. I am none of these things IRL. Airlines sometimes have cheaper flights to distant destinations that change planes in your intended destination city. So if you are flying to Chicago, you might book a flight to LA, knowing it stops in Chicago, and simply get off and not board the second leg. There is a website called skiplagged.com that is being sued by United for informing people how to take advantage of it. If you're calling a support line, curse angrily at the robo-receptionist. The software on the other end will sense that you are having trouble with the phone tree and connect you with an actual person. The name brand products you buy at Walmart are of inferior quality to the same product at regular stores. Learn this in a business course, specifically in reference to name brand shampoo and toothpaste, but applicable to many products. Walmart demands lower prices, so manufacturers lower quality. Generic store brands of medication contain the same active ingredient as the name brand. The only difference is binders and fillers. There's no reason to not try the generic brand first. In the UK at least, there is a PL code, product license, on medicines. Everything with the same code has identical active ingredients, regardless of the cost of the package. Baby wipes and makeup remover have the same effect as far as removing makeup. Don't spend $6 on a pack of 20 makeup remover wipes. Spend $6 on a pack of 100 baby wipes instead. I use Bond's cold cream. I've had the same $4 tub for like 6 months now. I only need to spread a thin layer and wipe with a warm rag. It comes off so easily. If you own a fleshlight, don't buy the lube or the freshening powder from their site. The lube is extremely overpriced and the powder is 99% cornstarch. Just buy cornstarch and use that to freshen your fleshlight. Yes, I can confirm this works. You'll get more that last way longer for far less money. Lube tend to be expensive, but I have found that baby oil isn't that bad for your fleshlight. Yes, the material will deteriorate from the oil and its lifespan will be shortened. But if you regularly wash and clean it, the deterioration will be negligible. Especially if you apply cornstarch often, as it absorbs all the residual oil. Water-based lube from the pharmacy, though overpriced, is still way cheaper than the lube on the fleshlight site. I'm not sure if this is true or not, but my econ teacher once told me that if you take a loan from a bank, you can ask to make payments on a bi-monthly basis as opposed to a monthly basis, and that should reduce the amount of interest you pay. Edit, Jesus. Bi-monthly does mean twice in 1 month. Stop sending me messages about it. Edit X2, this post and the ensuing comments are not actually about getting better loans. The discussion is in fact about the proper use of bi-weekly, bi-monthly, semi-weekly, semi-monthly and fortnightly. It's impressively stupid. I've worked retail for 6 years. Tip 1, things are always on sale and they're never full price. The original price sticker should be illegal since the product is literally never that price. Don't get caught up in the how much I saved mentality. Always look at how much you are spending. Tip 2, When you get a coupon sent to you for, let's say, $10 off, on that exact day, usually Sunday, all the prices change for that week. They'll raise the price on an item $10 and then send out a $10 coupon for it. People are conditioned to buy a $40 item with a $10 coupon to drop the price to $30 instead of buying it the week before when it was $30 with no coupon. Don't let coupons fool you. Tip 3, never get a store credit card unless you pay it off in full immediately after your purchase. Interest rates are close to 30%. Tip 4, be nice to the cashier/sales associate and you're more likely to get a good deal. I know everyone has the Walmart mentality of complaining to get your way, but in any other smaller chain, being respectful will give you great deals. We regularly take 20% off of someone's purchase if they're respectful while we are helping them. Tip 5, aside from some major items, TV, basketball hoop, etc., Black Friday is a huge scam. People just think they're getting great deals. Prices on other items are the same as they always are. Companies depend on you coming in for that great deal on a TV or whatever and buying a bunch of other stuff too.